Namaste and welcome to the deep dive. Today we're really getting into something fascinating, building renovation in Nepal. And it's not just, construction basics. It's this amazing blend of ancient tradition and modern living, whether you're thinking about a family home in Kathmandu maybe, or a beautiful old heritage site in Bhaktapur. So our mission today is to kind of cut through all that complexity for you. We want to pull out the really essential knowledge, give you a shortcut really to understanding how to build smart, sustainable, and culturally sensitive ways in Nepal.
It's a great topic, and what's so interesting, I think, is how those practical needs, safety from earthquakes, dealing with monsoons, meet this really deep cultural meaning. It's
Yeah.
all sort of woven together in the architecture. Nepal's unique context, the geography, the history, it just makes it such a rich area to explore.
Okay, so that unique context.
Yeah.
What's the first thing that really jumps out? What makes renovating in Nepal so different? It's clearly more than just slapping on a coat of paint.
Oh, absolutely, not at all. The environmental factors are huge. First off, earthquake safety. You have to remember, Nepal is right there in the Himalayas, a very active seismic zone. So building isn't just building, it's building smart, building resiliently. That often means using things like reinforced concrete frames. Think of it like a strong skeleton for the building. And also using lightweight materials where you can. Bamboo is a great example.
Bamboo. Interesting. Why bamboo?
Well, it's not just light, it's flexible. It helps the structure sort of absorb shock during a tremor. It lets the building move a bit rather than just rigidly resisting, which can be worse.
Right, so strength, but
Yeah.
also some give.
Okay. And beyond earthquakes, you mentioned the climate, monsoons must be a big factor too.
Huge, absolutely huge. Those rains are intense. If you don't plan for it, your lovely renovation can get seriously water damaged fast. So really robust waterproofing is, well, it's non-negotiable. We're talking properly sloped roofs, deep overhangs, good drainage systems to get water away from the building.
Okay, keeping the water out makes sense. And then there's the cultural preservation piece, which is just as important. Nepali architecture has such deep roots, centuries of heritage. So when you renovate, especially an older building, you're kind of like a custodian. You know, those amazing Newari wood carvings you see.
Oh yeah, incredible detail.
Exactly. They're not just decoration. They're part of the story. They link to the past. So you have to be really careful about preserving and integrating them.
Wow, okay. That's a lot to juggle right from the start.
Oh.
So for someone listening, maybe thinking about doing this,
Yeah.
what's the absolute first practical step? Where do you even begin?
Right. First step, no question, talk to a local structural engineer. Early. Very early in the process. They're the ones who know Nepal's building codes inside out. And those codes are specific for a reason. Earthquakes, climate, they'll help make sure your plans are safe and respect the local way of building. And that actually brings up a really key question, doesn't it?
Okay.
How do you actually balance modern safety needs like seismic codes with preserving traditional looks? Sometimes the old ways don't quite meet modern standards on their own. A good local engineer knows how to bridge that, maybe suggesting hidden reinforcements or modern materials that blend in.
That's really smart. So it's about integrating, not just replacing. Okay, so you got the engineer on board. Let's talk about the actual building blocks, the materials, what works best there. And this idea of local sourcing, why does that matter so much?
Materials. Well, Nepal has fantastic local resources, and using them is often cheaper and much more eco-friendly. It's kind of built into the traditional way of doing things. Think about mud and brick. Traditional mud brick walls are very sustainable. They breathe, great insulation.
But maybe not earthquake-proof on their own.
Exactly. So often they need some reinforcement, maybe some hidden steel or special plastering, just to give them that extra stability for today's standards. Then you have bamboo and timber. Locally sourced, grow fast, really versatile, great for internal walls, decorative bits, things that aren't carrying the main load, and stone, of course, especially in the hills. Fantastic for foundations.
But tricky to work with, I imagine.
It needs skilled hands, definitely. You
Yeah.
can't just pile up rocks. It needs proper technique for strength and, well, for it to look right.
So this local sourcing, is it easy? How do you go about finding these materials?
Well, the pro tip, as you might say, is sourcing from nearby markets or suppliers. And here's the aha.
Yep.
Right? It's not just about maybe saving a bit of money on transport, though that helps. It directly supports the local economy. You're putting money right back into the community you're building in. And yeah, it massively cuts down your carbon footprint from transportation too. So it's a win-win-win.
Supporting the local community just by choosing your bricks carefully. I like
Sure.
that. Okay, so we've got the engineer. We're thinking about local materials. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty. What are some really practical tips for the actual renovation work itself?
Right, actionable stuff. Okay, number one, Monsoon planning. We talked about waterproofing. Think waterproof membranes on roofs, walls. Also, elevating the foundation slightly if you can. Just helps keep things dry during heavy rain. Number two, ventilation. Look into using jolly windows.
Jolly. Those lattice ones.
Exactly. They look beautiful, very traditional Nepali style, but they're also brilliant for airflow. Keeps the place cool, lets light in, but gives privacy too. Number three, energy efficiency. Solar panels are a really smart move in Nepal.
Because of all the sun.
So much sun, it makes solar power really effective and economical over time. Good for your wallet, good for the planet. And lastly, and this is maybe my favorite tip, hire local artisans. Skilled local carpenters, masons, especially from places known for craft, like Bataan. They bring an authenticity and understanding of the materials and techniques. It just adds so much value and beauty, things you can't spec out in a plan.
Leaning into that local skills seems vital. What about managing the project, dealing with contractors? Any advice there?
Yeah, that's crucial for keeping things on track and on budget. Definitely get multiple quotes. Don't just go with the first one. See what the range is. And always check their previous work. Ask for references. Go see a project they finished if you can. Talk to past clients. It's about ensuring quality and, just as importantly, reliability. Saves a lot of potential stress later.
Good advice. Because let's be real, renovations rarely go exactly to plan, right?
Yeah.
So here's where it gets really interesting, maybe. What are some common bumps in the road in Nepal? What challenges pop up and how do you deal with them?
You're right, there are always hurdles. And Nepal has some unique ones. Think about those old city centers like in Bhaktapur. The streets can be incredibly narrow.
Right. How do you even get materials in?
Exactly. It's a real logistical puzzle. You often can't use big trucks or machinery, so sometimes it means smaller machines or even relying on manual labor, carrying things in, which in a way is how it was always done. Adds complexity, for sure. Another common one is permit delays. Bureaucracy can be slow-moving sometimes.
Paperwork.
Yeah. Best advice. Start the paperwork with the local municipality really early. Just factor that time in. Be prepared to wait a bit. And the big one, budget overruns. Especially with older buildings, you start opening up a wall and find, some hidden structural issue or rot or something unexpected.
That sounds expensive.
It can be, which is why, and this is probably the most crucial practical tip, always set aside a contingency fund. I usually recommend about 20% of your total budget. Just keep it separate for those nasty surprises. It's your safety net.
20% contingency. Okay, noted. That's super practical.
Yeah.
Beyond the money and the logistics, what's the sort of mindset you need? What's the key to navigating all this?
Patience is definitely high on the list. Things might take longer than you expect. But also, and maybe this sounds a bit soft, but building good relationships
Yay.
with the local authorities, with your neighbors, with your crew, it can make a huge difference. It smooths the process, helps solve problems when they pop up. People are more willing to help if there's trust, which actually raises an interesting point.
Go on.
How can that community connection, that trust, actually benefit what seems like a purely technical job, like building? Turns out that goodwill can sometimes unlock doors, speed things up, give you insights you wouldn't get otherwise. It's invaluable.
That's a really powerful way to think about it. It's not just bricks and mortar. Well, this has been an amazing deep dive. It really shows that renovating in Nepal is, well, it's more than just construction. It's this chance to weave together the old and the new, sustainability, modern comfort, all of it. So the message for you listening is really to embrace that local expertise, maybe start small if you're unsure, and plan.
Absolutely. And maybe a final thought to leave you with. Think about how preserving those traditional architectural features isn't just about respecting history. In many ways, it actually builds resilience against earthquakes, against climate issues. It connects to the place. So what does that deep connection between past, present, and future resilience, what does that really tell us about how we should define progress today?